A monster hunter and his prey engage in a final showdown at a desolate desert bar. Our 13th caller is titled tonight's Tale of Terror, Truckenstein Must Die. Alright, caller, you're on the air.
I'm an exterminator of the weird. Like the really weird. Have you ever exorcised the ghost of 100 dead mosquitoes? Trapped a dogman with a couple of whoppers and an apple crate? Or staked a pair of vampiric tennis shoes? I have. But you won't see my name celebrated in the papers. My job is the most underappreciated of underappreciated jobs. I can say that with confidence. My cousin shovels cow shit for a living. These monsters, or weirdos, as I like to call them, live along our highways, around open spaces, and in small towns, feeding on the people society ignores. Which is why I'm currently sitting in my truck at the edge of a desert, freezing my butt off. I'm on the trail of one doozy of a weirdo. A long-haul trucking man-made monster built from the body parts of the deceased. Some kind of Frankenstein, or Truckenstein, if you will. Reanimating the bodies of the dead to drive a truck across the country is no big deal. Happens all the time. The problem is, this Truckenstein likes to destroy electric cars and suck the juice from their batteries. He doesn't mind killing their owners either. I knocked back my last swig of coffee, a special blend of 70% liquid and 30% grounds, then stepped out of my truck and into the chilly night air of the Mojave. I removed a worn Battlestar Galactica lunchbox from beneath my seat. Inside was a roll of scotch tape and a small pill bottle. My secret weapon. Popping my hinged belt buckle forward, I taped 2 blue capsules to the back. My 2 aces. I bought them off this homeless fellow in Pensacola who claimed to be a back alley pharmacist and shaman. The guy seems legit. He wore a stethoscope. No matter how severe the injury, these miracle pills healed you. The downside is you had to be drunk and near death before they'd work. And each hit took a year off your life. And once they wore off, your injuries returned. And it sounds like the negatives outweigh the positives, right? But these blue pills do more than put Humpty Dumpty together. They give him an edge, too. The Mack truck I'd been tailing the past few weeks was parked outside of a rundown shack masquerading as a dive bar called The Last Stop. Despite its appearance, the joint kept a steady stream of customers. Truckers, elderly motorcycle gangs, the occasional tourists looking for cheap food and cheaper beer, and me. Bill Witt and his kid Tim owned the place. I didn't mind them. I kind of liked them, actually. But they did not feel the same about me. My arrival meant a hefty repair bill, loss of customers, and dealings with the local authorities, which is an extra level of pain in the ass when your regulars pass substances of questionable legality around, like the church communion plate. Now, they may not care for me, but they understand the service I offer. A necessity for folks who make their livings on the back roads of America. Like I said, I've been trailing the weirdo for weeks now, riding his ass. Close, but never close enough. He carved a trail of carnage from Sacramento through Los Angeles and now to the last stop. The last bar you hit before the Mojave, and the last UV charging station until Arizona. Lord knows why Bill installed one outside of this shithole. But Truckenstein would need the extra juice for the road, and he wasn't getting his fix anywhere else. I circled the Mack. A cherry red cab with a "My truck don't leak oil, it sweats power" bumper sticker. Tied to the front grille was a dirty teddy bear in a "Show Me Your Bobbers" fishing t-shirt. This was his, alright. Real class act. Footprints that looked like they belonged to Bigfoot and work boots led from the truck to a neon yellow hybrid parked next to the charging station. The rear quarter panel of the car lay a good 20 feet away. A gust of wind filled my nose with a heavy smell of iron, stomach acid, and shit. My guts somersaulted, threatening to fill my mouth with this morning's gas station ham and cheddar sandwich. I knew that smell, and pulled a handkerchief from my back pocket to cover my face. I discovered you can't tie a knot tight enough to block out that stench. As I circled the hybrid, the carnage unveiled itself. A maroon explosion of gore splashed across the car, the electric pump, and half this side of the parking lot. And at the center of the blast was a blob of meat, a knee-high pile of human sloppy Joe mix. Someone must have caught Truckenstein mid-meal. I examined the clumps of blonde and red hair that topped the pulpy mass like two soggy wigs. Oh, I'll be damned. Meat Mountain wasn't a person, but persons, plural. If the two-toned hair wasn't a dead giveaway, the four legs sticking out of the sides were. I looked up from the steaming heap of people to the bar. A Billy Ray Cyrus song thumped its muffled thump, and I looked back at the meat. You've got a hell of a night ahead of you. The expression on Bill's face as I entered the bar told me he'd been expecting me. The place was empty except for Bill, Tim, the 5 dead bodies strewn across the bar and pool table, and the massive brick wall of a man sitting at the bar. I could tell tonight was going to be a rough one. Mind? I asked Truckenstein and motioned to the seat next to him. He looked at me, then grunted. I took it for a yes and slid onto the seat. Bill knew my flavor and poured me a shot of whiskey. Cheers, I said to Truckenstein, and downed the shot, then tapped for a second. Long night? No response. Yeah, me too. Got a feeling it's about to get longer. I gulped my shot, then tapped for a third. The jukebox switched from one Billy Ray song to another. Hey Tim, I don't know if you own a snow shovel or power washer, but you got a mess outside. He gulped, then ran out the door like his ass was catching. I returned my attention to Truckenstein, who continued acting like I wasn't there. I was snooping around your truck? Wouldn't have figured you for a Silicon Valley boy. He took a long pull from his bottle and kept staring straight ahead. So, what scam product does your CEO daddy have you running? It must be important. Progress, he said, and faced me. I got a good look at his ugly green stitched-up mug. Your average, run-of-the-mill Frank, bolts and all. Was that a tire iron in his head? Oh, Daddy wouldn't invest the capital in giving you a better face? I'm a good shit talker, but I'm not the best fighter, at least when the opponent is bigger than me, my size, or a child. No one's perfect at their job. We've all got areas for improvement. I'm good at drinking and taking a hit, though. He slid one massive foot back. Here comes the punch. I downed my last shot. He swung, and I stumbled, falling on my ass. There was a sound like an exploding watermelon, followed by a spray of blood as his fist whooshed over my head. I got to my feet, cocked my fist, and swung. My hand connected with the side of his thick, hammy head. Several things, probably the bones in my fist, popped as my knuckles remolded themselves on his face. Truckenstein grabbed and lifted me off the ground. Someone behind us screamed. We stopped fighting. Tim stood in the bar's doorway, holding a blood-stained shovel. He whimpered and sniffled. He's dead! The monster lowered me to the ground and we exchanged confused looks. The big guy? I said, pointing to the jolly green giant holding me by the face. Yeah, no shit. No, you idiot! You killed my dad! We followed Tim's gaze to Bill, still standing right behind the bar. The top of his head was missing. He was dead, all right. That explains the blood and watermelon sound. Sorry, man. Let me finish things here and I'll buy you a drink, I said. Fuck you! Fuck both of you! And he left. Unbelievable. Suddenly, I was airborne. My back struck the wall behind the bar. Glass and booze exploded around me. I rolled off onto the still-standing Bill, who crumpled under my weight. Truckenstein reached over the bar and grabbed me again. The next thing I knew, I was flying into the jukebox, still holding Bill's body. I don't know why. 3 shots of whiskey and severe brain trauma will make you do stupid things. Luckily, my neck broke our fall. I tried to lift Bill's corpse to throw it at Big Green and buy myself time, but it was a stupid idea, and I was drunk. He was heavy and kind of just flopped over. Shit! Truckenstein cleared the floor in seconds. He grabbed me and threw me into the ceiling, then caught me and spun me twice before flinging me back behind the bar, shattering the remaining bottles and possibly my spine. The couldn't feel anything below my waist, and the parts I could feel above my waist hurt like hell. Something mushy inside me poked something sharp, and the mushy thing deflated. It was hard to breathe. I knew the feeling. I was dying. Perfect. I popped my belt buckle forward. An untouched bottle of Jack lay within reach. I grabbed it and popped the pills along with 2 plugs of the Jack to wash them down. Dry swallowing was never my thing. The gel capsules hit my stomach. I felt a brief pang of discomfort as they dissolved before a sudden dreamy euphoria floated through my body. I was one with the universe. A sudden blinding pain racked my body as the pills worked their magic. They sealed wounds and rebuilt broken bones. I was a new man. I made a finger gun with my index and middle finger, and my hand remolded itself. Bones and meat shifted, transforming the 2 fingers into the barrel of a throbbing, fleshy magnet. Remember that edge I mentioned? I stood up. A stool flew past me, splintering onto the back of the bar. The monster said, "Beware, for I am fearless, and therefore powerful." Oh yeah? How about a knuckle sandwich? Thump! A missile of meat and bone erupted from my hollow fingertips. The bullet whizzed past Big Green, taking a chunk of his ear with it, and showering him with bits of the novelty clock that hung on the wall behind him. "What the hell?" he said. "Franken die, bitch!" I said, and jumped over the bar. I fired again. The slug planted itself in his chest, throwing him back onto the pool table, flattening under his weight. Screwball, corner pocket. He got to his feet and appraised the sizzling hole above his right pec. Through the gaping wound, a cartoon beer bottle riding a sign that read, "It's drink o'clock," winked at me in flashes of neon. Truckenstein fingered the ragged edges. "What is that thing?" "My finger bang," I said, taking slow aim at the big green lug. My mind said action hero, but my body said, "You've drunk too much." Thump! My aim was off. The shot ricocheted off the tire iron in his head and into the lights above the pool table. A pop of light and electricity, and then darkness. I wondered if he could see in the dark. He could. The first swing of the pool cue hit me between the eyes. The second hit me in the groin. Then he hit me in the groin again, and again, and again. Pick another target! Gladly. The pool cue came down on my head, and I fell. "One more for luck," he said, hitting me in the groin again. His hands were on me, gripping my gun hand, raising my arm above my head. He squeezed. I felt the soft pop of flesh and bone inside his meaty mitts. The pills do a good job of taking the edge off, but no amount of pills can blunt the pain of an exploding hand. Truckenstein flung me back through the swing doors and outside, skidding through the gravel. Tim, or Tims, looked surprised to see me. Was they, holding a gas can or cans? My double vision cleared. The potent scent of gasoline hung heavy in the air as Tim sloshed the gas along the front of the bar. He muttered to himself, something about how he'd kill the monster, then me. I don't know, it seemed kind of petty. He lit a match, and the place went up. I looked toward the parking lot and the 5 empty gas cans. Kid been busy. I heard the pump of a shotgun and turned my attention back to Tim. He stood over me with his gun pointed at my face. Behind us, screams of "Fire bad!" and "I expected this reception! All men hate the wretched! How then must I be hated? Who am I, miserable beyond all living things?" echoed into the night as the building burned. "You killed my dad," Tim said. "Please, the pills are wearing off," and he hit me in the balls. "Also, blame the big monster man's fist." Tim lowered his shotgun. "Shit. I can't look a man in the eyes and shoot him. Thank God. Roll over." "What?" He raised his shotgun. "Roll over." Shit, this was a tight spot. Taking in my options, I did what any sensible fellow would do. I kicked the barrel of the shotgun. Tim fired, peppering the ground next to my head. "Fucker!" he said, and pumped the gun. "No, you're the fucker. My comeback aim was still strong. I grabbed a handful of gravel and flung it in his face. He stumbled backward and fired again. A few lucky pellets hit my calf. I scrambled to my feet and hobbled toward Truckenstein's trailer. Please have some secret weapon or something useful in there. I heard him yell, "You suck!" Boom! A circle of holes appeared in the trailer. "Your mom sucks! My mom's dead! So's your dad, you shitty little orphan!" Behind me, Tim cried. I told you I was good at talking shit. Lucky for me, Truckenstein didn't lock his trailer. Why would he? He was a 7-foot-tall monster who'd pulp anyone attempting to touch his truck. I lifted the latch, letting the door slide upward. Inside sat stacks of boxes. No way. I couldn't believe it. I'd seen the ads on TV late at night, sandwiched between commercials for dirty talking call lines. Tim speed-walked towards me, still spitting out dirt. He pumped the shotgun, took aim, then noticed the boxes. Are those what I think they are? The microwave remote, I said, removing the package from a box. Weren't they recalled? Yeah, holding metal made the radio waves lobotomize anyone who stood between the remote and the microwave. Hey, do you smell bacon? From behind us came a roar. Truckenstein grabbed Tim and flung me from the trailer. Big Green was still alive, except he was naked and more crispy black than green. A little melty looking, too. Should I feel kindness toward my enemies? No. From this moment I declare everlasting war against the species, and more than all, against you! He raised Tim above his head, above that tire iron sticking out of his brain. I fumbled with the microwave remote's packaging. Damn twisty ties. I removed the remote from the package. Please have batteries, I thought, and hit the microwave button. Sparks flew from the spot where the tire iron and forehead touched, and electricity arced from the tip of the tire iron to every bolt on his body. His head swelled and exploded, showering me with meat and brain. Every piece missed Tim. Luckily Irish, or Greek, or Italian. I'd have to ask him. The point is, I'm mad someone upstairs is playing favorites. Thanks for saving me, he said, offering a clean hand to me. I made him grab my hamburger helper hand out of spite when I felt the electrical charge leave my body. The drug ran its course. There was a sharp poke of pain in my back, then another. Every cut I'd received from my tango in the bar opened. My body spasmed. Skin split open, bruises rose to the surface, and blood squirted from every cut and visible orifice. I screamed in pain. I might have peed a little too. Holy shit, what just happened? He stared in horror at my convulsions. Good, maybe this'll win me some sympathy points. I need to go to the hospital. Tim ruminated on this, then asked, You got $50? And can I drive your truck? Yes, and yes. He helped me to my feet and we hobbled to my truck together. Do you still want to kill me? I've seen enough death and destruction tonight. I think I'll collect the insurance on the bar and retire to a tropical island. Are we friends now? More like shaky acquaintances. You know, I helped destroy the bar too. Tim looked at me like I said something offensive. Are you serious? I'm not sharing my money with you. You see what I mean? Underappreciated.
Thanks for calling. It's a shame all that whiskey went to waste. Speaking of waste, where the hell is Ryan? I hope he didn't try and pet the ants again. Well, that's it for the show. If you enjoyed this month's episode, give me a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And don't be afraid to say hi in the comments below. As for me, I'll be waiting right here for the next 13th caller.